Hey Karkosi, this is Kirill Rozanovsky with Macedonian Athletics Sports Academy. Today we're going to go over one of the aggressive plays for the NXL Virginia Beach Open. I think it will be helpful for a lot of teams out there, so I'm going to go over it and give the thought behind it and how you would execute it. But before we get started, what's the reason for an aggressive play like this? Well, it can be a number of things, but we'll just say for this situation, we're down points, we need to come back some way. Now, most teams have a main play that is typically a more conservative style, which is along the back bunkers in some way, right? Well, say that main play isn't working. You're just losing points for whatever reason. So you try to adjust in the main play by sending people wide and aggressive into the snake or Doritos off the break to apply some pressure and try to win some quick points. That sounds great, and it probably sounds familiar. And that's what the majority of teams do, but you end up still losing points. So basically, you're getting hit off the break when you try to go wide and play aggressive, or even when you're doing your money play, you're still just losing. So what the hell's going on? What do we do? Don't worry, this is a common problem that happens with teams. So that's why I wanted to go over this play. So here's what I came up with. Here's the aggressive play that we're going to use to try and get some points up on the board. We're not going to send anyone out wide. It didn't work well with our main play or the adjustment we made to that play. So we're going to keep everyone going short with guns up to try and pull an advantage as quick as possible off the break by hopefully getting a kill off the break and also by keeping our 5 guys alive through the breakout. Because they're most likely going to shoot their lanes wide because they know we're down points, so we have to make something happen. And we already tried sending people out wide. So we're not going to risk bodies going out wide off the break. Instead, we're going to get a guy into the Dorito because it's on the back row and it isn't too hard to make. Then we're going to send a guy to this Aztec shooting for a corner runner to make sure they can't get out to the tape. And then we have to double the back center hitting those solid lanes. Our 5th guy is going to sit in the open and edge the back center. He's also shooting that open area like he's standing in. And he's going to be doing that especially if the other team's been doing it throughout the match. Now what you're probably thinking is, dude, this isn't even an aggressive play at all. But haha. That's the illusion we want to give. This is just the setup stage. How can I explain this better? So if you know anything about drag racing, you have that setup stage where the car pulls up and they do their little burnout to heat their tires up. And then they go up and get in position at the line. And then they raise their RPMs. And then they launch. Well, we're doing pretty much the same thing here. We're trying to get those quick kills, then get into position, have our guns rolling, and then we launch. It's the same concept. So let's get back to this play here. We already went for those quick kills off the break, got into position. We should have all 5 guns rolling at this point, and this is where we launch. So what's going to happen is the guy's going to go up to the X. Now we still have our guy in the open. This entire time he's been gaining and keeping dominance on this back center. So when our guy gets to the X, he can now wrap the X and take control of that dominance on the back center. Now our guy in the open is going to go let off that shot to let his teammate control that guy for him. The guy in the Aztec needs to determine who he needs to shoot at, and that all depends on where they went to on the break. More than likely, he hit that guy going to the corner if they sent one there. So now he should be shooting at his mirror to clear this gap. Because he needs to do that so the guy in the open has a better chance to make it through this gap here and into the corner right away. So let's take a minute to analyze our position. So now we have a guy in the Dorito, the back center, the Aztec, and now we have a guy in the X and also one in the snake corner. So now we're in a position that most teams put themselves in from the break. So from this point, this looks just like an aggressive breakout most teams run as their breakout. Except we did something a little different. To get us into this position, our setup was different. Rather than just running our guys to this position off the break, we attacked that back center more. We made sure our guy could get into that snake corner alive. Other teams wouldn't have done this. They just risk a guy out to that snake corner off the break and going immediately upside X. And getting to that corner is so make it or break it on an aggressive breakout. You pretty much need to have that guy in the corner alive in order to push. So what we did is we just created a more effective way to get our guy out there to the snake corner safely. In doing so, we haven't risked any bodies. So we should be 5 alive still. And to boot, maybe we shot someone on the break. Hopefully at least. We at least created a great chance to. We doubled up the back center, had the guy in the Aztec gun up, and had a guy edging. That's 4 guns up making great shots that should be, well practiced, and they should be hitting them. And if that guy going to the Dorito can make it gun up, that's 5 guns up. Otherwise, just send them there running. It's not a big deal. I mean, we had 4 guns up that were easy shots that they should have been practiced and getting kills with inside the tournament. Alright, so we've done all of this up to this point to get into this position. Now what? Well, this is the second part. And this is the part where most teams fail. You have to get people up the field. That's the point of the aggressive play. Alright, we want to launch our guys again. We heated up the tires, we got into position, raised the RPMs, made our initial launch, but now we need to shift into second gear to launch this car again down that track more. We need to get this guy from Snake Corner down the Snake. We also need to get this Dorito player down the Doritos. So we're going to have these 2 left in the backfield help launch these players forward. We can't just have them sit in the backfield hoping they can land a shot somewhere. It's an aggressive play. We need to get down the field to shoot people. And these backfield guys, they're like the clutch in their car. And in this shift, they need to disengage and get out of their bunkers a little bit. Do what they need to do to get your guys down the field. As you sit in your comfortable bunker back here, you're just handing the other team the win. So you got to disengage, move around to get shots on players, get dominance, help put players in so your teammates can go in that next gear and get down the field. This guy in the Aztec will most likely need to come out to get an angle on that Snake Corner if someone is in there, or move around to get a better shot on the mini race, the Aztec, etc. Same with this guy in the back center. He can come out here around the X and over the tall cake and shoot at the back center, and then his teammate puts his mirror in and goes up the Doritos. Through this entire process, let's go back up to this X guy. He should have taken over that dominance on the back center when he got up there, helped his teammate get into the corner, held dominance on the back center while he addressed the rest of the field, see where the players are at, and then he goes and gets as many people as he can off the field. At a bare minimum, he needs to trade out with someone. He should really be taking out at least 2 people, but at a bare minimum, he needs to trade out. It creates some havoc up the middle, and that really helps free up guns and lanes for those backfield clutch players for when they disengage and they start moving around a little bit to try and gain dominance on other players that are holding back that corner player and that Dorito player from moving. And it really helps just solidify the rest of that second gear push. Now, those players should have made their bumps into the next Dorito and into the Snake. If they didn't make it alive, then the back players need to fill their position and continue, that push up that side. But let's say all 4 are alive, because they should be, and the 2 should be pushing the tapes, right? And the 2 backfield players need to now continue to help them push up the field. The Dorito side player is going to do this by attacking the center of the field. You want to spread the field and make players on the other team have to play both sides of their bunkers to help open up opportunities for either of the players on your side of the field to make more bumps. So basically, once the guys say he's in the other team's Dorito, once he looks inside at the guy up in the center, your teammate that's on the Dorito tape makes his bump. If he switches back to shooting at that guy on the tape, then your guy up in the center wraps and looks for more kills and tries to bump further up the field. He goes and takes more people out, and you just keep working that side of the field like that. And you just keep, back and forth, and hopefully, either player on your side is going to have an opportunity to make a move. And you're just going to keep pushing that side like that. As for the Snake side, the guy in the Aztec keeps shooting the snake or snake corner to get his teammate up into the snake. And I mean, it all just depends on where they're at, where he's going to shoot. But once his teammate is up in the snake, he then goes up the middle either to the X or to these pillars to try to eliminate as many bodies as he can as quick as possible. And then you just let your teammates on the tapes finish the games out and pinch any remaining players out. If you only had 3 players left, say after the breakout, whoever was left would still do what they were doing if 4 were alive. Except that lone player on one side would just need to play a little more cautious. You don't want to give them a completely open side to run down, so he still needs to play aggressive, but cautiously. You need to also let your teammates know you're by yourself over there, so they can try to make something happen before the other team realizes the situation and has a better chance to shut down any potential moves. But yeah, that's the aggressive play broken down. This is a nice little play that can be applied to many different layouts. So make sure to use something like this in practice. It's a great play to be able to pull out of your pocket and gain some quick, effective points. If you guys got any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe for more free videos and have a great day, guys.